Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
What if I told you Fight Club isn't about fighting, it's about identity, freedom, and the quiet madness hidden in modern life? This isn't just a movie, it's a rebellion wrapped in testosterone, cynicism, and soap. Beneath the punches and broken rules lies a brutally honest critique of capitalism, masculinity, and the search for meaning in a numb corporate world. It's complex, it's layered, and it dares you to wake up. So what makes Fight Club so different? When David Fincher's Fight Club exploded onto the screen in 1999, it was misunderstood, criticized, and even dismissed by some as toxic and violent. Over time, however, it morphed into a cult phenomenon, gradually revealing its radical depths to a generation disillusioned with modern life. What makes Fight Club so different and great isn't just its anti-establishment attitude or gritty aesthetic. It's the way it violently unpacks the psychological damage of modernity, the illusions of masculinity, and the soul-sapping cost of consumer culture under the skin of a visceral, almost anarchic narrative. It is a story that isn't meant to be comfortable or clear, because neither is the world it reflects. The Cult of Nothingness, what distinguishes Fight Club from most films is that it offers no comforting morality, it rejects solutions, it's not about overcoming adversity or discovering love, it's about descent, collapse. The narrator's journey is not one of growth but destruction of identity, materialism and control. He begins as a passive, insomniac corporate drone who defines his worth by IKEA catalogs and support groups. When Tyler appears, he doesn't rescue him, he detonates him. Tyler Durden isn't just an alter ego, he's the wrathful scream of suppressed rage against a life too perfectly dull to be real. This rejection of narrative catharsis is why many fail to get the film. It does not offer a tidy resolution. Its greatness lies in that refusal to behave. A masculine crisis on film. So much of Fight Club revolves around masculinity, but not in the simplistic way critics often accuse. It's not about glorifying violence or toxic behavior, it's a grotesque mirror held up to broken men who have no initiation into purpose. These are men raised by television, abandoned by fathers, and seduced by marketing. Tyler's Fight Clubs are not solutions, they are symptoms. They are a primal scream. The brutality is not the point, it's the only language these men remember. What makes the film different is that it explores masculinity not through strength, but through fracture. We watch the narrator unravel, split in two, and ultimately face his own monstrous creation. It's not about embracing violence, it's about confronting the emptiness that spawned it. Philosophy in blood and soap. Rarely does a film marry philosophy and narrative with such visceral style. Fight Club is Nietzsche shot through a postmodern lens, a nihilistic rant dressed in designer decay. Tyler speaks in aphorisms, and not your job. Sticking feathers up your does not make you a chicken. These aren't just edgy slogans, they're ideological daggers aimed at the bloated belly of consumerism. The brilliance of Fight Club is in how it weaponizes its own medium. The cinematography is grimy, the editing deliberately chaotic, the narration unreliable. The very structure of the film mirrors the mental fragmentation of its protagonist. It is not just telling a story, it's enacting a breakdown. You're not watching a movie, you're being indoctrinated, disturbed, unmoored. It is cinema as psychological sabotage. The uncomfortable mirror. Why is Fight Club so misunderstood? Because it doesn't hold your hand. It's not easy to tell where the critique ends and the madness begins. People accuse it of glorifying what it critiques, but that's exactly the point. Tyler Durden is seductive. He's supposed to be. We're meant to fall under his spell before realizing he's a false god. In a world where media increasingly flatlines into clarity and comfort, Fight Club remains defiantly uncomfortable. It asks hard questions and dares to answer them with chaos. It leaves space for misinterpretation, because truth doesn't always come neatly packaged. Sometimes it comes wearing leather gloves and a bruised face. Conclusion: why it still fights. Decades after its release, Fight Club is still dissected, still controversial, still feared and revered. Its greatness lies in its danger. It doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need, if you're brave enough to look at it honestly. In the end, Fight Club isn't about fighting. It's about the war within, the war against meaninglessness, against conformity, against the sanitized death of real feeling. And that's what makes it not only different, but unforgettable.